everybody. Before I start, can I ask you a question? What is the language is better for you? Russian or English? Who is for Russian, please? Raise your hand. And English? Oh, okay. It's interesting. It's tricky to think about the emailing. When you ask somebody about the choice you can send for one audience, English variant, for another Russian, I can speak in two languages at the same time. So I will try English, but please, I have a lot of slides because I worked on them during the day, and I'm sure I will not be in time, and I'm sure that we will not have a time for questions. So please, raise your hand if you have a question during my talk, and I will try to answer. Because of the case of my talk today is not just to share with you some big idea. It's just trying to explain something you really need. And these 2 days, I asked everybody I met, what do you really want to listen from me, from somebody who working with email marketing? And I just put some answer to my talk, to my presentation. And please, if you have a question, just raise a hand, ask any language you want, but please don't ask in German, I don't really understand it, okay? So let's start. Email strategy. Before, 2 words about myself. About 20 years ago, I thought that my call to this world is to be a programmer, to write a code. And everything I did in my life was about that. Together with my partners, we created a company. Others, we did outsource software development, worked with different big companies around the world. And it was mostly enterprise products. And had a lot of experience working in different areas. And I thought that we are too clever to suggest, to advise my customers how to do. And I know how to do a business. And about 6 years ago, we decided to create our own product. We wanted to switch from the service company to a product company, and one of these products is Sputnik. It's a marketing automation system. I already had an experience in this area before we created a product, and when we did it, it was a big disaster for us, because we understood that not in a market where we started, in Ukraine, nobody really needs any marketing system. Everybody wants to send only a spam. And we tried to create a system for marketing. Nobody needs it. And we had only 3 choices: stop our attempt to create a product, return back to the service, or maybe change the product for this kind of things, for selling a spam, or probably change an audience, change the market. It's the most tricky thing. It is what we choose, and we try to share our experience in the conferences. And so I was a programmer, then I was transformed to an entrepreneur when we created a product. And then when I started to share our ideas in the conferences, people know me like an email marketer, but I never was a marketer. But I talk, I speak, and work in this area, so everybody thinks that I'm really good in email marketing. So please filter everything I say. I'm really a programmer, and programmers are really strange guys. If you saw how they write in emails, what they send, and how they understand your thoughts, so it's not always what you really wanted to do. So we created a system. The name of the system is Sputnik. It's our team. It's a great team, but I don't really have a time to speak about this. And I'm traveling around the world. Last week I returned from Vegas. It was a conference with the Email Innovation Summit. I bring a lot of ideas from this, but it's later. The strange things that I'm staying here in this sand and trying to speak to you about email marketer. For me, it's a kind to return about 6 years or about 10 years ago to the general marketing, when everybody really wants to send a spam. It's not really about the communication. It's not about the opportunity. It's about the selling things using as many channels as we can use. And email is just a channel to sell. No, it's just a channel to communicate. And it is the top 3 reasons why I mostly forbid use our system for brokers, for lenders, for webmasters. Webmasters. Oh, I don't know who is webmasters from you, but usually it's guys who really want to send the spam, not even for contacts they allowed. GDPR. We are speaking about the GDPR. They sell a database like in US and just send their proposal every single day. It's not about the communication. And when we speak about the opportunities, about negotiation, about such kind of things, so it's to make your customers happy, but your business, mostly, not for everybody, is how to make your customers unhappy. You sell them what they really want, but then they don't have really money to return you back, and they searching for next credit to pay for the previous credit, isn't it? I know the statistic that about more than 60% of people who trying to make application for credit rejected. So you generate a lot of leads, and lenders just reject them. And you continue to offer them more and more and more. It's terrific. Another thing is affiliate programs. When you do not control the guys who sell your products, and they do some strange things with where they receive the contacts, when they do all the things, and they send in a spam, and after that, the reputation of the resource of your product just filter all traffic to your site because of it's like a spam. Also, everybody speaks about the data, but nobody really uses data. Not nobody. I spoke with a lot of guys here who really understand the value of data and value of segmentation and personalization, but nobody uses. It's why usually it doesn't work for a lot of companies. But we have a lot of customers. We send in billions email every month, but we're trying to work with somebody who at least tries to change this world. I spoke with some of you and have a lot of questions, and some of them were, okay, we know that ROI is big, we know that email works and performs good, but we don't have a time. It means that you don't really need the money, isn't it? Okay, it's okay. But the interesting question is, it doesn't work for us because of its low conversion rate. And when people say conversion rate, they mean low open rate. Let's think why its open rate is low. There are several reasons. One is your email is ugly and so on. It's not true. Probably your email is really beautiful. But maybe it's on spam. Nobody can read it. It's low open rate. Maybe you send for persons who don't really need this. Why you think your email will be opened? It is a secret how to receive 100% open rate. Just send it to your mom, or I don't know, or send it to somebody who really, really, really want it. But we want to send more emails. More emails doesn't mean really more money. So just a quick comment. Excuse me, but some slides on English, some on Russian, and I have more examples of Russian emails. It's kind of standard emails with an offer. What is good in this email? There is a very big focus on only one offer, which is on the first screen. It is the first screen. There is no call to action button on the screen because of it's somewhere there, but nobody can see this. It's not very good. But then we have a list of other offers. It's okay. It's what everybody does. Everybody do, but we speak about the personalization. And it's supposed to be here only the offers I really need. How I can trust this kind of personalization when we have уважаемая Сергеевна? It's really I have to think that they think about me. They care about what they provide to me. Is it personalized? No. If you will read, there are a lot of small mistakes, but it's just typical email we send. How many of these emails we send? In a daily basis. Every day we have new email with different offer. It's why a low conversion rate. Because there is no personalization. We just have an email, even if we have everything accordingly GDPR or some other practice. It's not what people really need. How to understand what we have to send? I think it is a spam, even if people opted in this email. There is a statistic from MailChimp. They publish it about the most optimal frequency of email people send. And they say that it's the best conversion would be for one person if you will send one email per 2 days. If somebody understands this, they send using this frequency. So what it says, it's number of emails per month, number of customers who click at least once during this period, okay? It's engagement level. Bank advisor, it's what they do, but it's still a spam. It's just using best practices about the frequency, but nothing about the people. It's not far from a sea, I think, who liked fishing? Who did fishing at least once? Nobody? Oh, some, okay. Less than English. So, what I think that when you're sending these emails, it looks like to be a fisherman. So, when you when you only start, it's supposed that quick short period on Russian. Потому что это рыбалка. Я не могу про рыбалку разговаривать на английском языке. Но когда вы пришли на рыбалку, вы знаете, как это происходит? Вы подготовились, забросили. И в этот момент вы думаете, сразу клюнет. Ну потому что вы пришли, она же вас ждать должна была, а не клюет. И в этот момент вы расслабляетесь, там что-то там, Facebook, Twitter, что-то еще, и успокоились. И как бы уже такого напряжения нету. И вдруг клюнуло, вот хоп, сразу. И думаете, как бы в конце концов отреагировать на все это. Но вы же сидите в напряжении. И постоянно не подбрасываете туда каждую секунду что-нибудь. А почему мы так делаем с письмами? Ведь это точно такая же ситуация. Типы писем, какие бывают. It's broadcast, it's regular email, it's just promo we send, it's our typical bulk and blast strategy. Seasonal, it's something when from November to, so when people are crazy, when they sell not for themselves, when they, if we will speak about the e-commerce, if somebody usually like iPhones and so on, he can buy everything because it's not for him, it's for present. It's not his typical behavior. It's not when you have to use his personal data to understand his behavior. By segments, there is a triggers, it's any kind of automated emails. And transactional email, it's when it's just follow some action and you have to send this email to them. So, when we will return back to phishing, it's different stages of this email. And don't really have a time. I will try to be faster. So, more than 60% of applications are rejected. Why we continue to speak with this audience, which is not actual anymore? And we don't try to recover them. We're trying to sell them. And they hate us. And click on a spam button. And after this, all your emails will be in a spam folder. So there are some services that helps these people to return back to a normal life. Yeah, so you can understand your reputation, you can understand why you're rejected, and they have a suggestion what you have to do to improve your reputation and just manage it. So it's more than a half of people you just lost if you don't help them to return back to a normal life. When they are, it's several stages and different kind of emails you have to send. When you offer them, when you're supporting them during the payment period, when you didn't give them to these guys who, how to say, forgot. Oh, the collectors, yeah. And you never help them to work with these collectors and so on. So it is your audience. If you help them once, they will return. And you have a normal number of repeated sales. Because they have to refinance themselves. Again, a lot of words about the GDPR. GDPR is a tricky thing. I think that some of them speak just in formal way. Like, you have to add the checkbox. You don't. You don't. If you just sell them, you don't need to ask them permission to send the product you sell. It's not necessary. It's only if you suppose that you work with this information. We never speak what you have to do with this data when somebody decided to remove this data, that I don't want you to process this data. What you should do. It's not a topic of this discussion, but we brought a book here, Leonid Nikolaev, if somebody knows, is a biggest expert in Russian-speaking region, in Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, or I don't know, who knows everything how to reach inbox. And just now, about 20 minutes ago, I got the discount code, which will work about 1 week. So FinAdTech, 10% discount, and the link, you can buy this book. And it have a chapter I wrote about the GDPR and everything about another thing, which much more important when you speak about the emailing, which is DOI, double opt-in. Who knows what is double opt-in? Who use it? Oh, okay. So these guys who knows, again, who knows? You know, somebody who don't know, please look to these guys and ask them, because of we don't have a time to speak about this, but it's something which has to be in your marketing automation. It's definitely have to be. I said there, and for some guys who asked it or did a talk here, I just tried to register on the site. It's a long do. I did several hours ago. They have a form to subscribe. And that's what I did. I just tried to subscribe. What I received, when I received the email, my email there, clicked subscribe, it shows me a page with one thing. Thank you for your subscription. That's all. But subscription is not completed, because I have to confirm an email, and they send me this confirmation email, but I have no idea that I have to check my email. And what they said, I have no action to do. I see the screen, what should I do? They even didn't offer me any offer with loans, with something. But I expected this email, and I checked my email. And what it says? You see, it's loan due PL, but I have to confirm in loan due RU, and in the link, it shows my email. It's never have to be happen. I don't want to have my email in any public link. So if I leave my information, create information for companies who don't really care about the security of my data, it's not very good. Also, how people behave when they need money. They leave their data in a lot of different resources, isn't it? And somebody who will be faster, they will accept. This loan due cannot be really fast because of, first, they didn't say that I have to check an email. Here is a problem, but when I follow this link, they said me, oh, okay, it's thank you again. It's thank you me twice, but no offers when I need them. It's not how we have to do. Raiffeisen Bank. Excuse me, because I thought that Raiffeisen Capital is the Raiffeisen Bank as well. It was a moment when I decided to register. I tried to leave subscription here, and unfortunately, I don't really have my Russian mobile number, and there is no chance to put Ukrainian variant. So I put something. When I clicked send, it shows me, okay, we need to confirm your mobile. Why? They wanted to confirm only mobile, only thing which I don't really have. And they, okay, call us. Certainly I will not call because of it's too complicated. I don't want to call. And I expected to receive some email to the address I provided that something went wrong, how we can help, maybe some type, or maybe, I don't know, do you really need our money? But they do nothing. It's another thing, is a registration and onboarding process. We need to work on every single step, and we need to split the communication. If somebody who we do a scoring on your side, a lot of, you get the information automatically from Facebook, from your database, from his previous activities, from a lot of places. You know a lot of information. You know what kind of offers to provide him. There is an example of 4 emails that sold me. Unfortunately, it's not me who wrote these emails. Me is a person who paid more than 100,000 because I received this email. It was about our product. Earlier, we used something like SendGrid, Amazon, Mailgun for sending emails. And when we understood that we're sending more than 100,000 millions of these emails, now we're sending billions of emails, we don't want to use some outsource, and we decided to deploy something for delivering on our side. And we used PowerMTA port 25 for this, and we sent them application for trial period. They provided us everything, and in a week they wrote us in a mail, oh guys, how are you going? In a 1-week testing, you have to make this kind of questions, do you? I have no idea. I called my admin, Valentin, and asked, oh, Valentin, how are you doing? Do you have this question? But oh, no, because of its ugly system. It's really crap. It doesn't work. I don't have this question here. But you have to just write them, because of one license costs about 25,000, and we need a lot of licenses. He wrote them, and I received an answer. I ashamed till today, because of the answer was very short. They told, oh, but the answer for this question on the very first page of the manual. Well, Valentin, did you read the manual? Oh, no, 1 second. Nobody reads manual. It's not because of he didn't really want. He tried to work with the system, but he didn't read the manual. He read. And in 2 weeks, he configured everything properly. And then I received another email. It was some other emails, but this email I want to share with you, it asked, okay, you have to be ready. Are you ready to pay? In 1 week, your trial will be finished, will be completely expired. And I understood that if they would not send me this first email and send this last email, a lot of companies do. I would say, okay, it's too expensive. Next time I will do another trial. Okay, no, not now. But I was ready. And now we have a lot of licenses. We paid for them and working with them about 6 years. Not 6, 4 years. So they understood my needs. It's another kind of, it's not about financial organization, it's just hotels.com. I tried to visit a conference in Boston. It was a Litmus email design conference. And they sent me typical proposition, typical, not very often, just once per 3 days something, and suggested, okay, there are New York, Vegas, there are cities where I typically visit this time. And I tried to find something in Boston. Next email, in these days, they sent me these offers in Boston. But first offer started from 600 for 1 night. When I go to a conference, it's not supposed to be in a hotel at all. 600, it's too much for me, and I ignored this. After this, about in 3 or 2 days or something, they sent me the same offers, but at the top of offer, they put the block where they say, oh, we have under $75 if you want. I followed this link, and next offer, during the week, they sent me offers $64, 10 times less. And I booked this hotel, Model 6. So they changed their communication strategy for every action I did. And it's what really commerce does or something. But for your experience, changed situation much more faster than here. Because of, you know every day different information about him, where he was rejected, where accepted, what is his credit history, what he did in your system, and so on. And you have to automate your emails. For automation, you have to use different channels, not only email. Email is just a channel for personal communication. Speaking at a conference is a channel to speak with a limited audience, but I cannot speak personally to everybody of you. I had a lot of questions, but I cannot answer directly for your question right now.
3 minutes.
Excuse me? So, 2 minutes, yeah? Okay. 2 minutes and 100 slides. Data. Data is the most important thing in any strategy you do. Data, because of you cannot send right message at the right time, using right channel, using to the right audience, until you know something about this audience. You need to gather this data using any channels you want. It's I just made a picture on a conference several weeks ago. It's a stack different companies use for this kind of optimization for different stage on the life cycle. You will have a presentation, probably you'll see something, I cannot. Engageo, Discover Org, Inside View, a lot of every string, Persada, a lot of very clever system which helps to follow your life cycle. Segmentation, a lot of different things for segmentation. Scoring, you have to do marketing qualification, sales qualification, and there are a lot of tools for this. This talk is not about to lead these tools. One of them is the Spoonie. Using different channels, and it's about the trends. It's okay for 1 minute. What people, another trend in emailing, using interactivity, you know, put the countdown timer for something where people have to rush. Using some Personalization in images, it's very popular now. Personalization in videos, if you send in the videos. And now, it's supposed to be 10 minutes for really strategy work. What I would suggest, how to organize everything to build a strategy. But I will be here till 12, so till midnight, and will answer to any question you want. So there, in a lobby, I don't know. So time is over. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm proud of you because you made a presentation and sold the book at one time of your friend.
Well, I hope, but it is a tricky. Can I answer the question? And now it's not a talk, I can speak Russian. Был спор, что эта книга будет написана и продана более 100 экземпляров за 2 месяца. Леонид Николаев написал ее за 1 месяц, и сегодня было продано 97 экземпляров. Если сегодня будет продано еще 3, то тот парень, который занимается продажами, выиграет что-то, я не знаю что. Но это на всякий случай, если кто-то хочет поддержать Александра Носича, это в Питере, то, пожалуйста, поддержите. Но книга вот такая вот, не пожалейте.
На автопате сегодня раскупится. Надо было прям пачкой привозить.